It's very rare that you're ever going to get me apologizing for any picks or sniffs that I dish out on this channel. But every once in a while, I'll make an exception because every once in a while, we take a shot to the kidney, a shot to the liver. That's exactly what we got last night. We got the Ra's al Ghul slow knife that cuts the deepest. With that third period Anton Lundell point, I got to tell you, I couldn't have been less worried about a bet watching that game for 40 minutes. It was a clenched ass cheeks game. Even guys like Panarin, Barkov, none of those guys could get on the score sheet. And on top of that, that line looked as useless as they had in the previous games. Tarasenko just tanking whatever line he's on. They got nothing, maybe a grand total of one shot between the three of them, and the puck was consistently in their zone opposed to the top two lines that were doing a little more. And of all the people who are going to break the 1-1 deadlock, Anton Lundell. I should have stuck with Tarasenko, and for that, I apologize. But every time I do something bad, I try to at least give you something good that you can take and kind of use for your own benefit. So I'll bring up those Artemi Panarin under 3.5 shots on goal, which now you're probably, oh, thanks for that. Well, something that I just want to let you guys know, the same way I think that it's an advantage to get those guys who are listed at one shot higher on Fanduel to use and add to something else. So yesterday on the video, I gave the under 6.5 goals with the under 3.5 shots for Artemi Panarin. So let's say it's after 2 periods, which it was, and Artemi Panarin stuck at 3 shots. So you're sitting there knowing, oh my God, if he gets one more shot, it's over. I lose. Well, that obviously was a plus money parlay. So what I did in that situation, I'm not saying you have to do this, but what I did, once I saw that he had 3, I took the third period player props on FanDuel that they offer. Remember I told you guys about that at the beginning of the playoffs? And I took Panarin for 1 shot, and then I combined that with stuff that I like for this Oilers-Stars game. So at least if that gets blown, I already have my bets off to a head start for the following night. And then if I miss that hedge, I've won the initial bet. So it's just something you can do. Let's say you had a huge bet riding on it. Like the Artemi Panarin under 3.5 shots on goal, 60 minutes was like the last leg of something, 100 to win 1,000. And you were just sitting there riding on that third period. Then you should absolutely at least take him for a shot in the third period and then combine that with something or a few separate things that you like. And if you lose those, it's fine. You've won your initial $1,000 bet. You don't have to do it. I'm just saying that option is available to you there on FanDuel, which is yet another benefit of finding solid unders to take. Like, you want to know what I did? I was like you guys, had the under 6.5, under 3.5, 60 minutes, Artemi Panarin. Once I saw he had 3 shots, I took him for a shot, and I combined it with somebody else I like in that same exact situation. You remember this guy? The Chucky bet? The Jamie Benn 2.5 shots. Well, he's listed at 1.5 everywhere else, and he has been for quite a while now. I don't know why FanDuel just said, no, we're gonna make it 2. There's no rhyme or reason. He's just listed at 2.5 there. And while he plays with Wyatt Johnston and Logan Stankoven, he plays more of a playmaking role. Now, when Hintz was out of the lineup and they were juggling lines, he was hitting his over 1.5 frequently. But now that he's back on that line, that initial dynamic where they're trying to feed Johnston and Jamie Benn is not like a primary shooter whatsoever has resumed. And look at his shot totals. They've all stayed low while those two are together. So I took the Artemi Panarin third period shot with the under 2.5 shots on goal for Jamie Benn. That's one of the things that I like tonight. What else do I like tonight? Well, I teased yesterday. I think the dynamic in this series changes since Chris Tanev, who is pictured in a walking boot, so can't say that looks great for his Game 5 status. But then again, I'll never forget Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals 2 years ago. Val Nichushkin is hobbling into the arena in a walking boot. I'm like, wow, this gives Tampa a good shot. He's going to be out of the line. This guy comes out, get out of the gate flying. Val Nichushkin entered the arena in a walking boot. Well, then again, maybe something got him through that. I don't know. Maybe that's the same stuff that got him kicked out of this year's playoffs. Anyway, Looks like Tanev isn't going to be playing. I mean, maybe they shoot him up with some stuff and you'll get like a reduced version of him. But that has a major implication on this game. I already told you last series they were using 5 defensemen. Now they have 4 that they kind of trust, 2 that they completely don't trust. So that means that Dallas is going to have to outscore some of their problems. You've seen many of their wins where they've just kind of bottled teams up and they've been blocking a ton of shots. They just lost their best shot blocker, and they're going to have to outscore their problems. So whether they do or they don't, I think it means more goals. I was just waiting to see if this game was going to be a 6.5 or a 5.5. I've seen it listed at 5.5 on a couple different sites. I will go over 5.5 because I think this Tanev thing is a huge issue. And also, these power plays have to start clicking sooner rather than later. And not a single power play goal in this entire series. If there was ever a game where that should start, it would be right here. So that over 5.5. And you could throw those under 2.5 shots on goal for Jamie Benn in there if you so choose to get a nice plus money parlay in there. What else can you add? Well, you could always add Joe Pavelski. Grandpa Joe under 0.5 point because this guy, honestly, he got thrown on the 4th line last game. I would scratch him if I was the coach. I really would. I would put Dadonov on one of those top 3 lines. He clearly has so much more to offer, and I would scratch Pavelski. He literally does nothing because on the 4th line, that's an energy line, and I would keep those 4 guys together. What's Pavelski going to do on a line like that? I'd scratch him. He's doing literally nothing out there. He's not even helping out in the power play whatsoever. He's slow.
He should have been out of the game years ago, but he can't stay home because he hates his wife.
You know what? I'm just being way too mean. Under 0.5 point for Joe Pavelski. And then because there's no Tanev, who's been marking McKinnon and marking Eichel and responsible with marking McDavid. He's the guy who got a stick on that wide open net in game 1 and deflected it up into Ottinger. But McDavid and Hyman, who are playing together, and I'll leave Nugent Hopkins out of this discussion because as you saw, he's on the line, he's off the line, he's on the line. But Nugent Hopkins is still on that top power play. But I'm going to go with McDavid and Hyman for a point. And if you take Grandpa Joe and put the under 0.5 goal, that's a plus money bet right there. Any of the other things that I said that you like, you can take that under 2.5 shots on goal for Jamie Benn. You can take the over 5.5 goals. And I also like the over 2.5 goals for the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, no Tanev, scam defenseman. Ottinger's been beat, 7 times in the last 2 games? Kind of like the over 2.5 for the Edmonton Oilers. Speaking of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, once again, I just got to keep bringing this up. I don't know why. Bet Rivers, they listed his shot total at 2.5 once again. Everybody else 1.5, him at 2.5, and the price is even better than last game. I have absolutely no clue why, but I'll absolutely take it with Capo Caco, who just looks absolutely awful. That whole 3rd line of the Rangers looks awful. I will take that same parlay. Under 2.5 shots on goal for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, under 0.5 point for Capo Caco. It's the only place that lists the both of those. The Nugent-Hopkins at 2.5, and I haven't seen Capo Caco listed anywhere else, so they keep listing them, I'll keep taking them. And that's essentially what I have for you here on this Friday, but I will tell you this. I think you can treat this game like a regular season one. If there was ever a game, as you see, I put major breaks on. You don't see me say, 2 points for this guy, 2 points for this guy. I'm not Peyton Manning behind the line of scrimmage calling ruckus, ruckus, ruckus.
What was that ruckus?
I know he heard ruckus.
I heard a ruckus.
This game, I don't mind. I think Dallas has to outscore their problems. What are you talking? What are you telling us to do, Andy? I don't know. Those same type of things. Logan Stankoven assist. Wyatt Johnston point. Even throw in 2 alt shots for Wyatt Johnston. Why not 3? I don't know. I guess I'm a little scared. The Rupe Hintz assist with the Jason Robertson point. 2 shots for Jason Robertson. Why not 3, Andy? I don't know. I'm a little scared. As you can see, the fluctuation with shots, it's scary. It's scary. We got the Forsling yesterday, 10 games in a row. We got it by the skin of our teeth. Rodriguez, 3 shots all over the place 2 games ago. Nothing last night. Kachuk goes over 3.5, but Verhaeghe, Reinhart, they do not. There is such fluctuation with the shots on goal. Games 1 and 5, Sam Bennett 4-5 shots in those. Then 1 shot, 0 shots, 1 shot. It's very difficult to predict a lot of those shots on goal. but it's a catch-22 because with scoring so far down during the playoffs, and you could see with all the clenched ass cheek games, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I think you can let them rip. Even if you want to do a Zach Hyman assist and Connor McDavid 2-point, Connor McDavid over 1.5 assists with a Zach Hyman point, I think it's all available for you on this slate. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. I think Dallas might outscore their problems. I think Dallas is going to win a high-scoring, entertaining game in Dallas. We'll see how it goes. What about Saturday? We're going to have Game 6 of this Rangers series. Well, there's a couple things you can do. Number one, subscribe to the Patreon. I'll have everything over there. But not just for that, because now, starting Saturday, Josh is going to be posting all his MLB picks there in the morning. And then on Monday, right here on YouTube, I Hate Baseball, the show. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And you know what I'm going to do? Since this is a luxury for me because I don't have to come up with the picks. I don't have to do a damn thing. What I'm going to focus on is placing my bets so you gargoyles can learn how to not just take every single pick and put it together. I'm going to be a gargoyle. That's why I bought the shirt. I'm going to be a reformed gargoyle because I'm going to place the bets as if I'm one of you. I don't know baseball. Josh knows what he's doing. I'm going to take his bets and I'm going to say how much I'm taking them for so that I can what? Because everybody goes, oh, Andy, I took all your picks together and I lost. Well, that's not how you do it. And on I Hate Baseball, I'm going to be you. I'm going to be placing the bets and we can track my winnings together. Hopefully I see you on my Patreon. If not, I'll see you on Monday for I Hate Baseball. So make sure you are subscribed here and the notifications and all those Dunkin' Donuts things I told you about. Take it easy. Have a good weekend.